She-Hulk episode 1 is on Disney Plus now, finally. I got to watch the episode earlier today. It's called She-Hulk Attorney at Law. I did do a little thoughts video on the trailer, and it looked interesting. Now, as of this review, I still have not watched Moon Knight, and I have not watched Miss Marvel, but I will watch those by the end of the year, maybe even sooner than that. But I wanted to see this show because I really like the tone of the trailer. I like Tim Roth and Charlie Cox and Mark Ruffalo. They all come back. And it should be a lot of fun. And the first episode was fun. So what they did here, first of all, I love how She-Hulk, the character, played by Jennifer Walters. I love that first of all, Jennifer Walters is very attractive and very charismatic. Like, she's instantly like a fun character to get into. And if you don't know this, some of y'all don't know, but even though I'm not somebody who read a lot of She-Hulk when I was a kid, She-Hulk as a character, even before Deadpool, was the character that was very fourth wall breaking. She would look at the reader and like talk to you, right? And she does that here. They introduced that here. And I really liked how the first episode, although it was an origin story, it wasn't like an origin story to where it wasn't boring. It actually made sense. And there's a whole bunch of Mark Ruffalo in this episode. It was called A Normal Amount of Rage. Basically, what happens is a spaceship shows up with, while Bruce and Jennifer, his cousin, are on the road. Car gets knocked over. It flips off of the road, and they're both nearly dead. What happens is they're both bleeding. And so Bruce bleeds into her injury. So his blood goes into her blood, and that's how she takes the gamma powers. The gamma ray powers to become She-Hulk. They also explain in this episode how because of their bloodline, their unique DNA, that's why they're able to take the gamma rays and turn them into power. So a lot of this episode, which again was a lot of fun, was Banner, Bruce training her. He's training her into how to properly use her powers, because even though she does not want to be a superhero, which is a good story arc, she wants to stay a lawyer. Like, I like that aspect of her character. Even though she still wants to be a lawyer and live a normal life, she can't anymore. Plus, like Uncle Ben said, with great power comes great responsibility. So he's trying to help her control her powers in this little beachside shack that Tony Stark built for him after or sometime before it was after the snap, but it was the blip, but it was before Endgame, obviously. So that's where he was able to kind of create, Smart Hulk, as they say, Professor Hulk. He did it there. And he has a bunch of technology there, and they end up having a little fight. It's kind of funny. They're throwing rocks, and he throws the bigger rock, and, who's the strongest. They have a little fight, and it's played up for laughs. It's not meant to be super serious, and I like that tone. I will say that when it comes to Marvel comedy, a lot of it is cringe. A lot of the comedy does seem forced in these shows or in these movies, but in here it works because I thought it was very well directed. Kat Coiro, is the director for this. And Kat Coiro, I'm not super familiar with her work, but I know that she worked on Modern Family. Very big sitcom, really good at timing. She also did this show called Girls 5 Eva, which I didn't see it, but I saw a lot of the commercials for it on Peacock. Not really for me, but she definitely has experience, and she's actually, I think she's married to one of the showrunners or one of the actors, I think, from Entourage. I don't really remember, to be honest with you. I'm just telling you this off of memory. And that was cool. So I love how at the end of the episode, right, they have a time skip because she basically flashes back to her powers. She's in the courtroom. Titania shows up, and she breaks into the courtroom out of nowhere. This felt like a scene from The Boys. Just came out of nowhere. And then she powers up and beats her, and that's how the episode ends. So it was a lot of fun, and I think really it was carried by Jennifer Walters. That's who really carried it. She has a tremendous amount of charisma. Speaking of The Boys, I think she's in The Boys, which is Tatiana Maslany is the name of the actress. I think she was in The Boys. I think she was there. And she was also in Diary of the Dead way back in like '07 or whatever. Like I know her from that. But anyways, she is super charismatic, great smile, great personality. Like She-Hulk is a very likable character, and I have a feeling that some people are going to say this is woke because there's some people on the internet who think that anytime there's a woman main character, it's woke. I don't think that's the case. But I do like how, unlike the Hulk, she doesn't have like a multiple personality disorder. She can actually control herself when she becomes the Hulk. And that's freaking awesome. Like, I love that. I love that she can do that, and I love that she's different from Bruce. But I do hope we see more of Bruce in the show because he showed a lot of charisma. Mark Ruffalo did in this. And I felt like they really had good chemistry on screen. It really was their story, and it was fine. So I look forward to seeing where this goes. Obviously, we're going to have, Daredevil, Charlie Cox pop up later on. We're going to have more stories, Tim Roth, tons of stuff. So I look forward to that. But so far, She-Hulk was fun. What did you think? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe if you are new. I want to get this channel up to 100K like the other channel I have is. Geekdom 101 is at 730 something. This one is at 75 something. So I want to get it up to 100K. So thanks again. Take care of yourself. We'll talk soon.